This is the Neoliberal Podcast.
Jarvis matters to you, clearly. You felt compelled to warn me. You think he's that dangerous. And if he has something to do with Fennec, and you could prove it.
Nothing you've said is anything close to proof. Now, you want to go to the police, you can. But honestly, anyone who hears this is going to think you listen to too many podcasts.
Ladies and gentlemen, there is a drive to demean, there is a drive to belittle, and there is a drive to remove a campaign by mainstream media, by big money backers, to remove podcasting out of the narrative, out of the conversation. They're trying to take back control. They're trying to remonopolize and to centralize communication, or their power over communication, so that they can continue with their pragmatic truth. I am watching this show, The Beast in Me, a limited series that Netflix has, and I want to know who is sponsoring this series, The Beast in Me, on Netflix. Because some time ago, 2 weeks ago, I heard another show or an ad, and in that ad, somebody said to another person, "Why don't you go do a podcast or something?" There is a drive to remove podcasting, or to sow in your mind doubt about podcasting, so that it doesn't be, so that, because podcasting is too competitive. It's too competitive. So now there is a drive by mainstream media and by powerful people to remove podcasting and podcasters and streamers out of the narrative, because the problem is podcasters and podcasting is competitive. The competition to mainstream media, the competition to CNN, MSNBC, Fox, and big name, the power brokers of this world. Their power, the monopoly over the news, over communication, is challenged when so many people have access and can now put news out. That's a problem. So now, these people know psychology very well. And I study clinical psychology in addition to the many things I study. They can't fool me. They are trying to sow doubt in your mind so that you don't take podcasters seriously, so that they can re-monopolize, so they can re-centralize power over communication. Because podcasting, streamers, YouTubers, what that is doing is because people are now getting their news from podcasters and so on and so forth. Independent journalists who are not connected by big name people. That's a problem for some people. And so now you look at the little 1 minute, 1 second. It only takes 2 and 3 seconds, bits and pieces over time, to sow doubt in your mind about podcasting. Podcasting is powerful. They're afraid of it. And so now you watch Netflix and these shows, they're inserting narratives, small narratives, little bits and pieces, 2-word line, to sow doubt in your mind, so that now when people say I'm a podcast, they say, "Oh," now you can say, "Oh, people, you listen to some you know what I'm trying to say here." But I'm smarter than that. I was just playing The Beast in Me on Netflix. This is on a quick note on the Neoliberal Podcast. Welcome to another episode of the Neoliberal Podcast, and this is on a quick note. I'm here watching a new series on Netflix that's about to break. So usually when Netflix is about to release a new series, they drop a limited series to whet your appetite. But I'm watching it. It's called The Beast in Me. And clearly, but as I watch this series, I'm on season 1, episode 2. And in episode 2, one of the main characters is talking to an FBI agent about something that has happened. And the FBI agent in the movie said, in the series says, "Oh, you listen to too many podcasts." And as I heard it, something in me jumped. Because about a week or two ago, I was watching another show. And on the show, somebody said to, one person said to another person on this show, "Why don't you go do a podcast or something? Is there anything you can do? Why don't you go do a podcast or something?" And when I heard these two things, something jumps at me. One is that they were trying to belittle podcast. They were trying to make podcasting irrelevant, unimportant. Podcast is one of the greatest thing that has ever, one of the greatest is podcast is the 21st century. Podcast is one of the greatest thing that has ever happened to I don't even know why I'm recording it like this. But it's one of the greatest things that has ever happened to media. Because what I have said about podcasting is that it decentralizes monopoly over communication. Many people don't like that, but I believe it is important for us to decentralize the monopoly over the news. But mainstream media is trying to take back their advantage. They're trying to wrest control because podcasting is the competition. And so what is happening now is there is a concerted effort. There is a concerted effort between mainstream media, Netflix, CNN, MSNBC, big news, big name news and big name media to take back control and to destroy and to inoculate any competition, and in this sense, and not only and to re-centralize their monopoly over the news, so that they can continue to control the narrative with their pragmatic truth. Yes? And so they, in a very sly way, you don't even know, but in a very sly, and if you study psychology, I study clinical psychology in addition to the myriad of things that I do. But in a very sly way, what they have done is that they are trying to create in people's minds doubt about podcasts, making it look unimportant, belittling it. Yes, by inserting conversations in shows, in ads that make podcasts seem dumb. But I'm sorry, it will. It's people like me can fish out things easily. I am not easily fooled and tricked. I see what people are doing. That okay. Power, those who have mainstream, those who have always had the power, and how they're trying to maintain that power. But guess what? We see you. We see what you're doing. I have a podcast, and I will do everything in my power to make sure that podcasting become part of the conversation, because we need competition, because competition we know what competition does. If you don't have competition, then it creates unfair advantages. Yes? So, I mean, I don't know what Netflix was trying to do by inserting this particular section into the movie, into the series. People will think you're crazy. But listen to it though. You gotta. I'm gonna play it for you if I could find it. Let's take it back a minute. Here it is. The Beast in Me on Netflix.
If Niall did this because of me, I need to know.
Look, I wish I could help you, I really do, but I have been down this road before. And I can't. My advice is to go home. Let it be.
Sorry, here we go.
Compelled to warn me. You think he's that dangerous. And if he has something to do with Fennec and you could prove it.
Nothing you said is anything close to proof. Now, you want to go to the police, you can. But honestly, anyone who hears this is going to think you listen to too many podcasts.
There we go. Anyone who hears this thinks you're listening to too many podcasts. An effort to demean, to belittle, and to take podcasting, and so that people may not think. So now when people say I'm a podcaster, you already think, oh, podcaster, or you listen to too many. You can go with that. You run with that narrative. I'm sorry, Netflix, or whoever pay big money for you to people pay big. There is a campaign. There is a campaign to remove the podcasting and YouTubers and streamers out of the conversation by belittling it, by using it in conversations like these. But guess what? We've seen you. It won't happen. This is on a quick note, and I'm Renaldo McKenzie of the Neoliberal Podcast. This is the Neoliberal Podcast.